With that, we are thrilled to welcome in Vic Joseph, who is calling the NXT Great American Bash tomorrow on the Sci-Fi Network. It's a 2-week TV special. There's 3 championship matches from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, so make sure you guys tune in to Vic on the call for that. And with that, Vic, how you doing today, man? Thanks for joining us.
What is going on, guys? It's a pleasure to be here.
Do you agree with us? Do the Guardians have to go all in right now and add some pieces? I know you're a huge Cleveland sports fan. What are we waiting for?
All I want to say, too, is to be sitting with Jay Crawford. This is I'm mind blown right now. I even texted one of the producers. Is that Jay Crawford? Is that Jay Crawford? I would have signed up for this. This is awesome. It's funny because I haven't talked Cleveland sports in such a long time, but I have a garden shed that when my wife and I bought our house, I said, I'm turning this into my man cave. It's all Cleveland. I sit there and watch the Guardians each and every single night if I can, the Browns every Sunday, and I look at it and go, man, how can we be this good? And then all of a sudden it's 7-0. What's the missing piece? Why is it? Why'd I just waste 3 hours when I could be laying in my pool? But yeah, they got to do something. There's something certainly missing. The bullpen's been great. I'm not sold on the starting rotation, personally, of the starting 5. And I think another bat may be needed as well. But they need to do something. I would say, yes, I agree.
All right, let's go all in. Let's do it for Vic's man cave. I mean, can you imagine how nice it would be? Vic, if you buy a pennant to fly outside your man cave that literally says, and when I say this out loud, I'm going to get goosebumps. 2024 World Series champion Cleveland Guardians. Like,
there it is. They just popped up on my arm right now. I got a Guardians flag hanging in front of my in the front of the house, actually. So I would love to put up a Guardians. I'd love to put up a Browns. I'd love to put up a Cavs. I mean, I just won a championship, and I definitely would be adding a lot of extra special things to the wall in the man shed.
Well, listen, Vic, man. Listen, I didn't know him, Vic.
GB, what's up, my dog?
I know him 30 years. I didn't get no introduction. He was like Jay Crawford. Yeah, I'm passing out.
Oh yeah, sorry. I get to talk to you a little bit more than I ever get to talk to Jay Crawford. So I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what's wild? Like, for y'all that don't know him, I worked with him at the Fan, and like one day he just woke up and was like, "Yeah, dog, I'm doing WWE. Yeah, I'm like, how do you have matches?
It wasn't like that.
It was. I swear, it was like one day they was like, "Yeah, Vic, yeah." Like it was 2 weeks later, it was like, "Yeah, bro." Like I'm at training camp. You got like how the hell do you get that off? Like, all right, so what? How did that pop off? Did you just say, "Look, I'm talking Guardians, but now I'm talking Sting"? Like, what's going on? How'd it go down?
Look, man, a lot of people don't know I was on the Independent since 2009, so this has been quite the journey. I always tell people I've had 2 careers. One was with CBS in Cleveland, covering the Cavs during the 4 NBA Finals, the Guardians or Indians World Series. You guys were just talking about the Browns for all those years. And the entire time, not only was that a passion of mine and a love, but also was professional wrestling. And this is the first interview I've done since my father passed away, and he passed away in October, and he introduced me to professional wrestling. I've gone to shows at the Richfield Coliseum. I've gone to SummerSlam in the 90s at what was called the Gun at the time. Oh, yeah. So to be back, it's special, but this was a journey. This didn't just happen overnight, GB, but this definitely is a dream job and a dream scenario to be coming back with the WWE to Cleveland to SummerSlam.
That's awesome. Time out.
You got me so excited, my earpiece fell out.
So wait, Vic, because I work at 92.3 The Fan, so y'all telling me that's the plug. You start at 92.3 The Fan.
Your path is NASCAR.
And then you could be a national phenomenon like Vic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
all you gotta do is listen.
That's what we doing.
It's just hard work.
Vic,
it's just hard work.
I seen you had a birthday earlier this month, man. Happy belated birthday. You an 80s baby, so that means you got some sense, right? That means you got some sense. Man,
the kids spend every cent that I have, too.
Two-part question, like, with you being on that grand scale with in the WWE, what do you talk to people about what's it like from being from Cleveland, Ohio? And then second part of this, I need your top 5 wrestlers of all time. We clearly from the same wrestling era. I need to know what those are.
Oh, I'll start with the second part, too. Shawn Michaels is number 1. for me. And it's weird because that was my hero growing up. I have said before, he is the biggest professional influence on my life. I don't know if I would have ever had a WWE dream if it were not for Shawn Michaels. And now that he and I work together hand in hand every Tuesday on NXT, which we'll be doing tomorrow night on Sci-Fi with the Great American Bash, to have his phone number and to get a text from Shawn Michaels is kind of like if you remember being like a freshman and you have that like cute girl and your butterflies start going.
Right.
Like still to this day, he's larger than life to me. So he's probably 1 through 5. But to give you a list,
That's great.
he'd be 1. He'd be 1. I think Kurt Angle would be 2. Edge would be 3. Bret Hart would be in my top 5 as well. And then it's hard not to throw The Rock up there as well. The Undertaker would be an honorable mention as well. And if you're looking at more locally guys, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, they'd be honorable mentions as well.
You like the Intercontinental Champions. That's your belt. Like you had all the dudes. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, workhorses. They're the workhorses. They're the backbones. They're the guys that, when they go out there, they're doing 25, 30 minutes. They make you fall in love with what the art of professional wrestling is. And they're the ones that keep you in your seat because you're on the edge of it the whole time. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? How's it going to happen? I also don't want to be rude. I want to finish the first part of that question. What do I tell people about Cleveland? I tell people that it's a hardworking town. It's made me who I am. It's that hard hat, lunch pail mentality. And I'm really excited from the bottom of my heart to have SummerSlam coming back to Cleveland, Ohio, because I think the fans are going to show up. I think the fans are going to show out, and they're going to be on a large global stage showing what Cleveland is all about.
How do the Cleveland wrestling fans compare to those in other cities?
Cleveland's got a strong fan base, Jay. I mean, take a look at there's myself. There's Johnny Gargano, who I think joined you last week.
He was on the show last week.
The Miz is from Cleveland as well. There's a lot of actually production people, from writers to cameraman to security guards, that are from Cleveland. So I think there's definitely a deep-rooted fan base from Cleveland. There's a lot of great independents in Cleveland that I was a part of as well. But Cleveland's up there. Chicago's its own breed. New York, its own breed. London is awesome. Going international. They're always a trip. They're always so fun to be around. And what's cool is no matter where you go right now, everyone seems to be a wrestling fan. Everyone seems to have this wrestling bug, and every city is so great in their own separate way.
It really is amazing, the fan base. And they've ebbed and flowed, and they've had peaks in popularity and some dips. But, boy, it just does. You're right, Vic. It seems like right now the iron is so hot for this sport. And you look at some of the deals that they have signed for the broadcast rights, and anybody that questions the influence and the popularity of this sport, they're just not paying attention. Hey, is Coachman still with WWE? Jonathan Coachman? Does he?
No,
do anything with
he
you
is
guys?
not. He is not. It's been a few years. I even think pre-pandemic. I could be wrong with that, but no, he's no longer affiliated. But I do want to touch on something, Jay, that you brought up when you talk about money. I think something that a lot of people overlook, and what's great for the city of Cleveland, is the economic impact that SummerSlam is going to bring. Jobs, people being able to make some money this week and really put it back into the city, put it back into the families, put it back into the community. And that's something that I think it's overlooked a lot when we roll into a town, whether it's for a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, is the impact we have on the local economy. So that's something also, Jay, and guys, that I want you to look at in a few months when those numbers come down, is to see not only does WWE come in and let you escape reality for a few hours, for maybe a few days, but also what we do locally for all the economies and how we just make every city better along the way.
That's awesome. It really is.
So Vic, I know we talking about SummerSlam, but we both know that WrestleMania is the granddaddy. Hypothetically,
Sure
WrestleMania comes to Cleveland. Is it at the current Cleveland Browns Stadium downtown, or is it at the new dome in Brook Park?
Man, if I would have had $1, I would have bet my son. They are going to ask me this question about WrestleMania. Here's the thing. WrestleMania has shown it can work in a stadium, Philadelphia, New York, that you don't need a dome. Is a dome great? Yes. I think the city of Cleveland, it doesn't matter. This weekend is an opportunity to show up and show out, as I said, to put your name on the map for a future WrestleMania, and I think the city of Cleveland can do it. If it was my choice, it'd be in a retractable dome that we could open up and see the sun, or we can close it, whatever's going to be better, so that my wife will come to more football games with me in the winter.
Nice. Well said. Yeah, because it gets downright brutal, especially on the lake with no lid. It is. I was at that Saints game a couple of years ago, and I know this sounds like hyperbole, but I don't think I've ever been colder. It was just brutal, bone-chilling cold.
Not good.
Johnny Candace and I were at the Jets game last year when they I forgot the emojis do the thumbs up and stuff on the phone. We were at the Jets game last year when they clinched the playoffs, and I said, honey, do you want to go? My wife Mackenzie, and we were coming up from Orlando, and she said, it's too cold. And I said, oh, come on. And when we got there, I mean, it was cold enough. We were going to buy blankets. That's how chilly we were, because we got that Florida blood now. But there's nothing like being down at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And for someone who worked, GB, you talked about 92 through the fan, someone who was on the Browns network for so many years, who worked at the stadium, who went to training camp, to be back there with this event this upcoming weekend, it's hard to put into words.
Speaking of you back in the day, we talk about low lights, because you were like there in the dark ages. Like we was working for the Browns radio network, and when we was doing these games, and this was like
Were you there for 0-16?
Oh yeah, 0-16, 1-15, all those.
GB jokes that I got up and just walked out and went to the WWE. The last thing I ever did was the Steelers game when they lost and went 0-16. I remember taking my headset off, putting it down, saying, see you guys, and I walked right out the door. That was the last day that I was there, actually.
And I was going to ask you, even to answer your own question, I was going to say, what is the lowest point that you look back on right now in that time period with the Browns, and you think, man, that was so funny? How far we've gone.
0-16 isn't funny at time, but now looking back on it, it's pretty hilarious. I would also say the fandom that the city had for Johnny Manziel the night he got drafted. I remember we being there in Draft Central at the Browns Network, and everybody started sprinting up and down the halls as if we won the lottery. And then we get to the season, and we're in training camp, and it's, what questions can you, what questions can't you ask him? I was on the plane with him. And actually, Jay, I had a little bit of heat and anger with one of your ESPN people that were working at the time. I will not say her name, but I took a picture of Johnny Manziel on an airplane coming back from Vegas. I was on the same flight he was on, and then she stole my photo and used it as her own.
Are you kidding? Oh, I got to find out who that is.
I'll never forget that.
That is
I will text you offline who it was, but I was so angry that I didn't even get credited, because at that point you're talking about someone in Cleveland who is just trying to break into that bigger market. I finally got this cool story. Johnny Manziel is asleep in the middle seat on a Southwest flight, and I post it, and then someone who's a much bigger name takes it right from me.
Give me that.
Wow. That's garbage.
Hit you with that Adam Shepard.
Garbage.
GB, I will text you. I will text you as soon as I get off here with who that person was.
I've got two guesses, but I don't want to say on air because I don't want to out her. I don't want to incorrectly point the finger at someone, because the guesses that I would have would be people that would do that. And then if I'm wrong, I'm rolling on somebody for no reason.
That person was totally fine.
Yeah,
I'll be the middleman to make sure both guesses and correct answers.
All right, good.
Get swapped.
I have a rule. I just don't talk any garbage about any colleague. I mean, there's some I like, there's some I don't. But I get the grind, so I'm not going to throw any darts on air. But we can talk about it off.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Vic.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
You're living the American dream. You really are. You're where you want to be. You're where you've dreamt of being your whole life. And to me, the amazing thing is you're doing it next to the person that probably made you the fan that you are today. So as a guy who's living his dream, literally, give some advice to all of our viewers on how not to lose focus and to stay on the path. And it's a grind. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. What advice would you give to anybody watching, not necessarily about how to become a sportscaster, but how to get to your place, wherever that is?
It's a mentality, and I think it goes back to being from Cleveland, and it's that hard hat, lunch pail mentality that I have. And look, I'm no different than anybody else. I'm from Cleveland. I'm a fan. I love all sports. I love professional wrestling. Never lose your fandom. Never lose your drive. Don't be worried to make mistakes because not everybody's perfect in this world, and I've made my fair share. But to be here in this seat, it didn't happen overnight. People don't know about me driving from Cleveland to Philly, Philly to New York to Baltimore, back to Cleveland to make it there in time to be part of the Cleveland Browns kickoff show at 8 o'clock in the morning, and just being in the car and sleeping in gas stations like Pilot on the interstate. People don't know those stories. And that's the thing that separates a lot of people is, do you have that drive? Do you have that determination? Do you have the ability to push through no matter what? And I think a lot of people do, and it comes down to self-belief. I always knew that I was going to get here. I always believed in myself, and I surrounded myself with good people who, there's so much negativity in the world, right? You can go on social media and it just ruins your day in 4 or 5 minutes with all the negativity. But if you put people around you that are positive, that support you, that are a good group to vent to, that you know it's not going to run off and be told to 100 different people, that means the world. So that self-belief, that determination, that mentality that you're willing to grind it out and do whatever it takes, you can achieve anything. And that's something that I live by. That's something I try to instill into my children, because I am living the dream, my own personal dream. This is all I've ever wanted to do since I was a little kid playing with my Hasbros in Independence, Ohio, was be a professional wrestling commentator, to do WrestleMania. I've done that. The only thing I have left is to call the main event of WrestleMania that hopefully one day I will achieve.
You will achieve it, I have no doubt. Vic Joseph joining us on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I love your story. I'm glad you shared it. I even love more your advice. I love the advice of staying off social media. Positivity will not get you to your destination. Negativity will not get you to your destination.
Negativity.
Any negativity
Jay,
you can eliminate, get rid of it.
Jay, I know you got tongue-tied. I've been trying not to get tongue-tied here having you interview me because this is like bucket list type stuff for me right now. Jay Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. I hope, G. Bush, you guys are understanding who's sitting next to you right now.
No, listen, Vic, by now they're just like, oh, shit, Jay's here again today.
Hey, listen, I know who it is. I know who it is. I'm like, listen, you now on that list. Man, congratulations on all of your endeavors. I might need the whole 20. Like, you know what I'm saying, until I get paid.
No. GB, I let you borrow money years ago. You still owe me money for a jet pizza you ordered one time at 12:30 in the morning over at the Fan. I got receipts on that. Listen, I got receipts.
And all of your, what's your shoe budget looking like? You got, see, when I knew you,
you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
What's your shoe budget looking like, Vic?
Oh, Vic shoe game nice too?
I'll throw it out there. I got about 80 pairs of shoes.
Nice.
About another 20 pairs of dress shoes, but I only wear the same on clouds. I got Jordans that still sit in the box. I only wear them with one outfit.
Okay.
What's your favorite number of J's? What are you, a ones guy? You a 11s guy? What are you?
I'm an old school high top guy. Same standard. I don't need any of the new stuff. I just want classic. Give me classic. I'm old fashioned.
He's Cleveland through and through. Vic, thanks, man. Enjoy the call. We're going to be watching, and hopefully you'll be a regular. We want to see you soon. Thanks, Vic.
Oh, thank you guys so very much for having me able to come on and talk WWE.
I'll send you that Cash App for that personal pen, that Little Caesars. It's only $5.
Hey, GB, you missed your calling, man. If the NIL deals were out when you were in college, I think you would have been a WWE superstar.
I would have been like, if my knees was working, I would be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I would really do like a ladder match.
He's bitter that the NCAA settlement only goes back to 2016.
Let's not get crazy on ladder match, GB. Come on now.
Money?
Nah. Hey, Thugalicious.
No, you just be Bush. That's all you need, Bush.
Pause. You can't
That's
do
it.
that.
Yeah, pause.
Pause. We can't do that. We can't do that here, Vic.
Vic, thank you so much. I'll get you Jay's answers, and we can make sure.
All right, Vic, man, that'd be great, bro.
On the same page.
See you
That is Vic
guys.
Joseph.
Take
Thanks
care.
for joining us on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show today.
You can't.
Guys, we got